what an amazing cheat. There you go.
Thinks Earth is flat?
There you go.
And Galileo, you know the guy from Believe the Earth is Flat?
The flat Earth.
The Earth is flat.
Yep, that's absolutely true.
It flattens out.
Yeah.
Flat Earth in flat Earth in flat Earth in Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
You have likely heard the phrase flatten the curve used.
Thing about the fragility of your model.
If you are a global player, and in our case, the leading premium and luxury player in the world, so of course, this black swan flatten this curve of this global
spread, flatten the curve. We can on every level.
Flatten the curve. It's a phrase you've probably heard a lot this week.
Experts say it's all about flattening the curve.
Consider this the line. Below it, the system works well. You need to join in, flatten the curve. You need to handle the cases that are coming, because they are coming.
Good to hear that. Back into the world is all relative. Dr. Lipkin, what do we know? What have you made, and which company should we be watching?
Obviously is about to release some monoclonal antibodies that it's flattening the curve here. So we've done that experiment many times.
Break and flatten the curve.
About keeping people apart, as well as locating and isolating the sick and protecting the vulnerable.
We could have done this earlier. We could have probably been more consistent.
The return of Canadians from abroad
isn't having an impact.
A campaign of bumper stickers and buttons and whatever to say, cough in your arm, do no harm.
A simple message that could have a big impact on that all-important curve. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News.
As the U.S. is attempting to flatten the curve, our is looking at what lessons we can learn from.
We'll have to be doing these measures. We did begin to start flattening that curve. Started to see the curve flatten. Unfortunately, that's when the blue line starts to take off. That's a global case now. That's the orange line here in early April. And that's with even more stringent measures than we could now, making it even illegal to go outside, they tell me, in the epicenters of the outbreaks in the United States. Then they could really start flattening the curve. But these models assume we do more than we're doing right now, Morgan and Carl.
Wow, when a picture is worth 1,000 words.
And myself say many times that we need to flatten the curve, or plank it. Well, when we talk about the curve, we're talking about the number of people who get sick. Our Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Tam, are tracking this information and mapping it out. That's why we need to flatten the curve. Together, we can and we will.
If 3 people catch it from them and I can start to pull those people away, I can slow down the rate of transmission. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, do that, it takes longer to get through the community. So if we are getting that looks like this, and this is our capacity falls apart, right? And that's what we're close to seeing. Like that looks like this and getting and flatten it over a period of time, everything falls apart. If we can keep it below that threshold where everything falls apart, we can continue to provide everybody good care for resources and spread it out over time, and that allows us to be able to take care of everybody.
Flattening the curve. It means slowing the pace of the outbreak so that hospitals don't get overwhelmed.
And to pull that off, we all need to follow the instructions of public health officials, reducing your contact with other people.
I'm not a medical expert, but as a meteorologist, I do. So I'm a little familiar with numbers, but even when I started hearing flatten the curve about a week ago, it took me a few times to figure out what it all meant. These are the observed active cases. Clearly the trend is up and it's been growing exponentially. Now the idea behind flattening that curve starts out with what our healthcare system can handle, and the goal is to not reach or go above that capacity as they have in countries like Italy. It's kind of like roads in a city. If every person in the city got in their cars, left work, and hit the roads, there would be gridlock. And that's where flattening this curve comes in, and that's why you keep hearing about it.
Made a point of saying that as far as the new measures are concerned, about 2,000 bars and restaurants, 4% out of those 2,000.
Or for coffee. Arranging play dates for your children is also not, or for coffee. Friends or family, or for coffee, is not for coffee.
Of calls, asked information, .ca.
Or for coffee.
On Tuesday, the White House.
Last week and a half, we have seen a flattening of the curve.
I'm not going to do anything rash or hastily. I don't do that.
Or for coffee.
Get back to work.
Or for coffee.
Very, very different. Some are day and night. Some are in great shape and some aren't in great shape.
The ASAP puts him.
I do.
It's uncomfortable. That's because the truth can make a liar lose his school. When Gary Irving comes to school, science teachers run away. Flat Earth's got 200 proofs that they're afraid to debate. When he says to the ace that their NASA picks are fake, the expressions that they make always make my day. Hey,
I do.
Big fail. Turns out the Earth's flat, still in stationary.
If he was absolutely determined to discover the truth, there's no way we could prevent him.